right, today we are diving deep into a blueprint for success that is so powerful, it's been a total game changer for almost a century. We're talking about Napoleon Hill's legendary book, Think and Grow Rich. So let me just start by asking you a question. What if I told you that the real secrets to achieving pretty much anything you want in life were figured out and written down almost 100 years ago? Well, that's the massive promise of this book, and we're about to unpack exactly how it all works. So where did all these incredible insights come from? Well, the author, Napoleon Hill, spent 25 years, that's a quarter of a century, studying over 500 of the absolute titans of his time. We're talking about people like Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, the guys who literally built modern America. He distilled all their habits and their ways of thinking into one powerful formula. Okay, so Hill's entire philosophy kicks off in one place, and it's not with your bank account or your actions, it's inside your own head. Part 1 is all about mastering your inner world, because any big achievement out there starts with a major shift in here. The very first principle is desire. And let's be super clear, Hill isn't talking about a casual wish, like, I'd like to be rich someday. No. He's talking about a white-hot, all-consuming obsession. It's a goal that you live and breathe, something that fuels every single thing you do. And this story just illustrates it perfectly. There was this guy, Edwin C. Barnes, who had one burning desire: to go into business with the great Thomas Edison. Now, he had no money, no connections, nothing. But he just showed up, took a super low-paying job just to be in Edison's orbit, and he waited. That obsessive desire, combined with action, eventually got him the exact partnership he dreamed of. Incredible.
But, just wanting something really badly isn't quite enough. You have to mix that desire with unwavering faith. And by faith, we mean the absolute, rock-solid conviction that you can and you will achieve your goal. Just think of Henry Ford. The man faced bankruptcies, failures. Everyone told him his V8 engine idea was impossible. But his faith in that vision was unshakable, and that's what pushed him through.
So you're probably asking, how in the world do I build that kind of faith? Well, Hill gives us a really practical tool called autosuggestion. The best way to think about it is like programming your own brain. It's about deliberately feeding your subconscious mind, telling it your goals over and over again until it accepts them as reality. It's how you connect that burning desire to that unshakable faith. Now, mastering your inner world also means you have to defeat the enemy within. Hill points out these 6 massive fears that basically paralyze us. The fear of poverty, of what people will say, of getting sick. You see him here. He says these are the mental brakes that stop most people dead in their tracks before they even get started. All right, so once your mind is primed and ready for success, it's time to actually build the blueprint. Part 2 is all about shifting from the right mindset to the right method. This isn't just about wishing for things, it's about strategically designing your path to get them. The very first tool you need for your blueprint is knowledge. But Hill makes this incredibly important distinction. See, general knowledge is nice, it's great for winning a trivia game. But specialized knowledge, that deep focused expertise in one specific area, that's what actually creates massive value and wealth. Just look at Warren Buffett. He didn't try to know a little about everything. He became an absolute master of one thing: investing. So what do you do with all that specialized knowledge? You take it into what Hill famously called the workshop of the mind, your imagination. And he says there are 2 kinds. There's synthetic imagination, which is kind of like remixing old ideas and concepts into new combinations. But then there's creative imagination. That's where the real magic happens. The aha moments, the flashes of genius. That's the engine of all innovation. Okay, so you've got your knowledge, you've got your ideas, and now you build an organized plan. But, and this is a big but, Hill drops a huge dose of reality on us. He says your first plan is almost guaranteed to fail. The key isn't to have a perfect plan from day one. It's to be flexible. When you hit a roadblock, you don't give up. You just build a new plan. You adapt, and you keep going. And that brings us to the final and honestly the most critical piece of the puzzle. You can have the best mindset in the world and the most brilliant plan on paper, but they are completely and utterly useless until you add the final ingredient: relentless, unwavering action. Hill noticed this really stark difference between people who make it and people who don't. Successful people, they make decisions quickly and they change them very slowly, if ever. Unsuccessful people, on the other hand, take forever to make up their minds, and then they change them constantly. He basically says procrastination is the ultimate dream killer. So once you've made that firm decision, you need persistence. And I don't think there's a better example in history than Thomas Edison and the light bulb. This number, 1,000. That's how many times he reportedly failed before he got it right. Think about that. Over 1,000 times. That isn't just trying again. That's a whole other level of refusing to be defeated.
When you get right down to it, persistence is the bridge. It connects that burning desire in your mind to the actual physical result in the real world. It's the grit, the staying power, that gets you through all the criticism and the setbacks that are, let's face it, an inevitable part of chasing any big goal.
And finally, Hill makes a powerful point. Nobody, and I mean nobody, achieves huge success all by themselves. He calls this the mastermind principle. It's all about surrounding yourself with a team of smart, driven people who can share their knowledge, their resources, and their encouragement. The perfect example? Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. That partnership, that mastermind, literally changed the world.
So let's put all these pieces together. Think and Grow Rich isn't just a list of motivational tips. It is a complete step-by-step system for taking something that starts as a thought and turning it into a reality. It really all boils down to this 3-part blueprint. First, you light the spark in your mind with a burning desire and unwavering faith, and you conquer your fears. Second, you create the design, your plan, using specialized knowledge and imagination. And finally, you fire up the engine with action, powered by quick decisions, persistence, and your mastermind group. The spark, the design, the engine. That's the whole system. You know, after all is said and done, the entire philosophy of this 90-year-old masterpiece really comes down to this one simple but incredibly powerful idea. Every single great achievement you see in the world, every business, every invention, it all started as nothing more than a thought in a person's mind. And that really leaves us with one last question to think about. What Hill's work proves, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that you have the power to choose the thoughts that define your reality. So, the question is, what thought are you going to choose to build your life on?